I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just look up. Don't be scared. Back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so what? You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong. You will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate, I attack. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't be scared. Just look up. Don't be scared. Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble.
It's Thursday. You know what that means. It's time for the Start Sit live stream with me, Joey P. Joe Pizzapia. That's Andrew Erickson, BPE. We're here to take your questions, give you some insights, give you some help. We've got Thursday Night Football just hours away, and I know you're super excited to see Brissett and Mitchell Trubisky play football. I know you can barely contain yourselves, but here we are, Fantasy Pros, rocking and rolling. If you got questions, drop them in the chat. Remember, you can't drop a question in the chat unless you're a subscriber. So what are you doing? Subscribe right now to Fantasy Pros. Do it. It's good for your health. Literally, I heard that the FDA approved Fantasy Pros. It's good. Just right into the bloodstream. All the fantasy football you could possibly have. Andrew Erickson, I know you're super excited for Thursday Night Football tonight, right? I can barely contain your excitement for this game.
I mean, what could be better than Mitch Trubisky versus Jacoby Brissett with potentially 20-mile-per-hour winds? I don't really know what could be better on this Thursday night game. So the under, that's what I'm hoping for to see tonight. The under, that's what I'm watching for.
All right. The other thing that you should be watching for, too, is our jersey giveaway. Remember I said subscribe to the channel? Well, if you do, you get a chance to win a signed Derrick Henry jersey, Tennessee Titans own, thanks to our good friends at pristineauction.com. You need to be a subscriber of Fantasy Pros YouTube channel. And right now, comment on this very video. That's it. That's all you need to do. And we will be announcing the winner right here on the channel. So make sure you turn on those notifications till they go ding so you know when new content drops. And if you indeed are the winner and can claim your prize, look at that. It's glorious. Big bounce back week for Derrick Henry. I just sent out a lot of Derrick Henry trades in the last 48 hours. So all those things where he said, you don't have any shares, Joe. Put your money where your mouth is. Well, I'm doing it. I'm doing everything I can to put my money where my mouth is and get some more Derrick Henry because I don't have any yet. Yet is the key word. Let's get to your questions. Let's start with Patrick, half PPR, half to start 2. Akers, Etienne, Pollard, Mostert, or Rhamondre Stevenson. He's now 0-2, and he says, thanks, we're the best. You're the best, Patrick. We appreciate you, buddy. So what do you want to do here? Who are the 2 you're picking out in the half PPR for this week?
I think for me, it's probably going to be Akers and Tony Pollard. I mean, Tony Pollard looked really explosive in the last week's game. I think the Giants don't really have a defense. I mean, they've played 2 really bad teams, so that's why they're number 1, 2-0. Somehow, I don't really think their defense has been tested. Not to say that the Cowboys are this juggernaut of an offense, but Tony Pollard just continues to make plays, and they're just going to continue to get him the ball. A lot more involved as a receiver in Cooper Rush's first game as a starter. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think they're going to still feed Pollard in the passing game. And then with Cam Akers, Cam Akers came out in week 2, had a much bigger role than he did in week 1. He dominated the touches over Darrell Henderson. He didn't score, but he still had 3 red zone carries. Henderson also had 3 red zone carries. So if he scores, I think that he's going to pay off. Cardinals defense, they can't stop anybody on the ground, in the air. The Rams can do whatever they want. They're going to score a bunch of touchdowns. Chances are Akers will score one of them.
I had to defend the honor of Tony Pollard yesterday on the podcast. I was 10 spots higher than consensus on Tony Pollard, and everybody else on the show with me was saying they agreed with consensus. I agree with Andrew. Start Tony Pollard this week against the Giants. Let's go. Zeke is toast. Him and Kenny Galladay should go on a cruise together somewhere. Oh my God. Can we get them on a cruise and just never come back to play
Zeke
football?
Is still top 30 running back in ECR. I literally don't understand. I don't get it.
Not in my book. Dennis Steven wants to know Najee or CEH in the half PPR. I understand there's been a lot of concerns here. You mentioned the weather potentially in this game tonight. I don't want to overrate too much. Now, the winds, when they're continuous winds, that's when you got to worry. When they're gusting and things like that, it's not as big of a deal. But do you see, is it time already to make the pivot from Harris to CEH and just try to play the total of the Chiefs? Or do you stick with your first round pick here?
No, I'm just going to stick with Najee. I mean, he got the carries in volume last week. He had almost 100 yards from scrimmage. He got over 20 touches, and that's not what CEH is doing. Like, CEH has averaged 11 touches per game in the first 2 weeks of the season. He's not involved in the receiving game, so there's a lot more question marks about his role. He has to score. Now, it's possible because they play in the Chiefs offense that he has a high probability of scoring, but you can make that argument about every single Chiefs player every single week, and more often than not, you're going to swing and miss, and you're going to pick the wrong guy. So I would lean towards Najee. I mean, if I'm going to bet on any Steelers scoring a touchdown here, it's probably the guy that's going to touch the ball 20 times. So I'm going to go with Najee.
All right, what do you think about this next guy, Diontae Johnson? We got a question about him from Kieran. Kieran M wants to know A.J. Dillon or Diontae Johnson in the half PPR. Now, I know in the half we tend to lean towards the running back for the touches. I know it's a tough matchup here against Tampa this week, but it's not like A.J. Dillon doesn't catch the football either. So what do you think, A.J. Dillon or Diontae Johnson?
I'm rolling with A.J. Dillon here. Look, I was probably higher on Diontae earlier in the week, and then I rewatched the Patriots-Steelers game just to get an idea of how Diontae's... I mean, a lot of it, what he's...
Why would you do that to yourself?
Because
what's wrong with you?
Because I want to do better in the rankings contest, okay? That's why. So Diontae, I mean, a lot of what he's doing with Trubisky is a lot of what he did with Big Ben last year. Just a lot of these, like, short, intermediate routes, a lot of button hooks coming back to the football. Like, he can beat his guy. Like, there's no denying, like, Diontae Johnson's super talented wide receiver, but the Steelers rank last in yards per pass attempt this year. It's the same thing that they did last year with Big Ben. It's like not really that different. So I think Diontae, look, it's not even full PPR here. Like, he just doesn't have a ceiling. Like, there's no ceiling with him where Dillon has touchdown equity in this offense. Like, he's going to get carries. He's still out touching Aaron Jones. Like, he's the Packers RB1 from a volume standpoint. So I'm going to go with him. Diontae Johnson, if there's weather, I feel like you're going to be pulling your hair out watching this game tonight with Diontae out there. He's going to be getting open, and Mitchell Trubisky is going to be airmailing him more often than not. So I'm just going to go with Dillon.
Blake Brockmeyer, which, by the way, if Blake Brockmeyer is not either the weatherman or anchor somewhere in a local news channel, then absolutely should be a wrestler somewhere. Blake Brockmeyer wants to know, Pitts is killing me. Logan Thomas or Schultz? I think you got to roll Pitts one more time against Atlanta. I really do. Erickson, what do you think?
Oh, yeah. No, Pitts against the Seahawks, definitely.
Against the Seahawks. What did I say? Against Atlanta? Well, Atlanta's been against Pitts for the last 2 weeks. So let me rephrase. But yes, against Seattle is what I meant to say. Pardon me.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Pitts here. I mean, Logan Thomas, he's still like third or fourth in the target pecking order in Washington. And Dalton Schultz is dealing with this PCL injury. And he's already someone that we're not expecting to make a lot of plays on his own anyway. So if he's limited even more because of a knee injury, then I need to see Schultz to make sure that he's healthy before I put him out there. I mean, he's also had 2 games now with Cooper Rush, and he's done nothing in either of them. So I'm going to stick with Pitts.
All right. Next is Nick Staver, who wants to know worst position imaginable: my RB2, Rashaad Penny, or Rhamondre Stevenson.
Rhamondre Stevenson. Okay, as I referred to watching back the Patriots film, Stevenson had one particular pass that Mac Jones just missed him on. He would have picked up massive game in the receiving game. Like he had open space in front of him. He would have picked up like 40 yards. I think that Stevenson's box score doesn't really tell the whole story. 62% snap share. He played more snaps than Dameon Harris did. So I'm going to take him over the 3-headed monster in Seattle between Rashaad Penny, Ken Walker, and Travis Homer.
Oh, it's a monster, all right. I would say this: Stevenson is a great buy low this week. If you can get him in a trade, do it, because people have really lost faith, and a lot of people put too much faith in him. So I'm with Andrew there. Play Stevenson. Pete G, I'm legit considering Flacco over Brady. Tell me why that's actually crazy. I understand why. I get it. I get that the frustrations with Tom Brady right now, but are you at a frustrating point where you're willing to get up on Monday morning and look yourself in the face and say, did I just start Joe Flacco over Tom Brady and did I just lose? I don't know if I can get there yet. Last week look, the Saints always give Tom Brady troubles. I understand he's got a lot of injuries. I can't get there yet. I can't start Joe Flacco over Tom Brady yet. I just think it's bad practice. I'm not going to bro you, but what do you think about Pete's dilemma here?
I mean, you're just chasing, the Jets' passing volume that's just been at a historic number the first
I would say
2 weeks
alarming.
Of the season. Yeah, alarming.
That's the word I'm using.
Alarming number the first 2 weeks of the season. And more often than not, I mean, a lot of quarterback production is really more tied to efficiency. So, I mean, who's going to be more efficient? I know that Flacco has nice weapons with the Jets, but I'm still going to roll with Tom Brady here. And I mean, I just don't see a scenario where Flacco, he outscores Brady by such a significant margin that you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm an idiot. And especially too, because this means that you need to pick somebody up to pick up Flacco. Or are you going to drop Brady? Do you have to drop another player to start Flacco? There's too many scenarios where, I mean, yeah, maybe if they're on my roster together already, okay, maybe I'd consider it. But if I have to make a roster move to add Flacco just to start him for 1 week, no, I'm going to start Tom Brady.
All right, next one's a defensive question here. And look, I understand the dilemma. It's the Ravens or the Steelers for Luis Velasquez. And I got to tell you, for me, this is not close. I'm going with the Ravens here. I know last week was a complete disintegration in the secondary, but you're not dealing with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle this week. You're dealing with the Patriots wide receivers. And, the Baltimore Ravens, from a fantasy perspective, put up 11 points in the first week. They finished as defense a low 7, and then 7 points last week, despite getting absolutely torched. Whereas, once you take TJ Watt out of the equation for the Steelers, you lose the upside of the sack potential, and the upside of the sack potential gives you a lot more points, and the pressure he puts makes quarterbacks make mistakes, which leads to more turnovers through the air. So to me, I've downgraded the Steelers defense. I've talked about this in a couple spots now. Do you agree? Would you go with Ravens over Steelers, or are you still with the Steelers?
I mean, I think Jacoby Brissett is horrible. So I still go with the Steelers defense.
Okay.
Here. And I know you mentioned the points from last week. So 7 points you said for the Ravens. Is that all from Devin Duvernay's touchdown?
It's very possible.
Yeah, that's the thing. They got shredded, and they probably would have scored a lot of negative points in a lot of formats if it weren't for the return touchdown by Devin Duvernay. Now, that's something that you can't rely on, obviously, week to week. So for me, I mean, are the Patriots not going to move the football? I think they probably will. And I thought the offensive line played a lot better, obviously, against a TJ Wattless Steelers.
See, you just get yourself into a circular loop, though. You just said they played a lot better as a TJ Wattless group.
It's not like the Ravens put any pressure on Tua. They put zero pressure on Tua. That's why everyone was. I mean, he had plenty of time to throw.
And all those DBs were banged up. Humphrey was banged up last week, and it all showed as the game went on. They all just.
I just like betting against Jacoby Brissett. So I'm going
sorry, Luis. I understand where Erickson's coming from, but I'm going to put my faith in John Harbaugh in this game, especially after what happened. You think the defense is going to go out there and lay another turd like that? I don't. They're going to get their ass kicked this week. They laid a lot of
turds last year too, and they never recovered. So
Can I say ass? Because I just said it twice. I just said it. All right. Ryan Gill. Chris is saying I can, so that's good. Full PPR, CeeDee Lamb or Dameon Pierce. Need one of these two guys for Ryan here.
I think full PPR. I think full PPR. I'd still probably go with CeeDee Lamb. I know we like the matchup for Pierce, but
still theoretical though.
Yeah, it's still theoretical. We still don't know. I mean, these are both. It's one of these scenarios where the Bears and Texans they both look slated up to do really well because the other team has looked so bad. So it's both teams are the movable objects in the situation, and neither are, but they're both stoppable forces essentially. So,
That was
I think I'd
deep.
still go with CeeDee. Yeah,
That was really good. That
I
was
came up
your
with that in the shower.
yeah, deep thoughts with Andrew Erickson. This is great. Maybe we can get a board for that. Chris says no, too much work. Okay. Jennifer Hafner, need one in the flex, half PPR. Hunt, Diontae Johnson, or Drake London. I think I know where your answer is going to be. Is it Drake London?
Yeah, the dude
Yeah.
is on absolute fire right now, and you just ride the flames until it sizzles out.
All right, Jennifer, go get Drake London in your lineup. The other thing you're going to want to do too is get into our Discord, because over at Fantasy Pros, it's free to join our Discord. We got a really cool thing happening there, the Discord touchdown contest. So if you go to fantasypros.com/chat and join, and you're a premium member, or if you haven't gone premium yet, go to fantasypros.com/offers and go premium today. Get your 6 free months by making that little deposit. We're giving away one item every month. Every week, we're giving away $25 to the winner at our Fantasy Pro shop. So you can go buy a hat, a t-shirt, whatever you like. But every month, we're giving away an item thanks to our good friends at Pristine Auction. This month is Stephon Diggs autographed Buffalo Bills jersey, which is pretty fantastic. So remember, this contest is only available for premium users. So sign up today on our Discord at fantasypros.com/chat. And when you're premium, not only do you get to do the touchdown contest, you also get to do stages after dark with me and Boggs. You get all the AMAs with Derek Brown, with Andrew Erickson. Pat Fitzmaurice, I think, has a cooking show on there. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time. Let's go to Chad Raymond, full PPR, Sutton or Pittman if he plays. Your thoughts?
I'm going with Sutton. I mean, I don't expect Jeudy to play. Dealing with the shoulder injury, and if he's limited in any capacity, I mean, Sutton had almost a 40% target share in week 2. Like Russell, who is he throwing the ball to? Sutton. Like that's who he's throwing the ball to. So I get the 49ers secondary. It's good on paper, but they really haven't been tested, is the argument I would make against them. I mean, they've played the Bears and a couple other teams. Like, they haven't been tested yet. So I think Sutton will test them, and he's getting the targets right now. So I'm going to go with Sutton.
I know where you're coming from. I would probably go Pittman as long as the reports continue to be good. I think that's where I'm going there personally. But I don't think either option's bad. Like, this shouldn't cost you your week. Hachi Taco, which I love a good Hachi Taco. Don't you, Erickson?
What's a Hachi Taco?
I thought you were cool. I thought you knew what Hachi Tacos were, but I guess not. I guess I'm the young hip one around here. What's the deal with Chase Edmonds? Is he a hold or a drop? What's the deal with Chase Edmonds? What are you gonna do?
I mean, I want to hold him. I mean, it's a 1 week thing where Raheem Mostert played over him in week 2, and it's weird because they were down the entire time. So you'd expect them to use the receiving back. So it was weird usage for Chase Edmonds. I would say if it's another week of the Raheem Mostert show, then yeah, I think I'd probably move on from Edmonds after week 3, especially if they're in negative game script again against the Buffalo Bills, and it is Raheem Mostert once again. So I try to hold for 1 more week, and if it's Mostert again, then I would move on from Edmonds.
Shelbo's got a dilemma. If Hunter Renfrow is out, Sterling Shepard or Greg Dortch, which way are you going to go?
I'm probably going to roll with Greg Dortch.
Dortch.
I mean,
that's right. Carry the torch for the Dortch. Let's go.
This Giants offense has virtually no upside in the passing game. Like,
no,
there's none.
Daniel Jones last week, by the way, watching Daniel Jones was a stunning reminder after that first week of, Daniel Jones always does this. He has a couple little moments where it's like, oh yeah, it's Daniel Jones. Maybe he could put things together. And then you watch him last week where I know he didn't have a lot of time sometimes, but my God, the decision making. And then there was one play where he was probably 2 yards away from a guy and he threw, I think, a 98-mile-an-hour fastball at the guy and it bounced off his chest. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you throwing the ball that hard to that guy who's 2 yards away?
He should have thrown a pick 6 too in that game. And God, I mean, and Micah Parsons this week. Oh God.
Oh, Micah Parsons is going to eat. That boy, I hope he's hungry because that boy going to eat. Night Visions, half PPR, flex, AJ Dillon, Michael Thomas, or Julio Jones.
Well, I don't think Julio's going to play.
I don't think
you can probably take him out of the equation here. I'm going to go with AJ Dillon. I think Carolina has pretty strong secondary. And Michael Thomas, he's been good, but it has been a lot of touchdown production. So if he doesn't score, I think that he could end up disappointing in week 3. So I'm going to go with AJ Dillon.
I think if you need upside, you play Thomas. And if you just need floor, you play Dillon. I think you keep it simple that way. Trey W, banged up Bills defense or red hot Dolphins or Texans against the Bears. I don't think I'm ready to do Texans against the Bears quite yet. I don't think I'm there. I don't know if Andrew is. So you want to go with the Dolphins or the Bills? I think I still stick with the Buffalo Bills. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with these DSTs is you really want them just to be facing a lot of pass attempts. Like that's how you generate points.
Right.
It's because on pass attempts you have chances to get turnovers, interceptions, and sacks. And what team is throwing the ball more than any other team right now? It's Miami Dolphins. So even if Tua throws for 303, last week he still threw a bunch of interceptions. Like he's still so there's still opportunities for the defense to make plays, even if it's a little bit banged up. Where like you said with the Texans, I mean, if the Bears elect not to throw, then it's just going to be really hard for the Texans defense to
I
score
feel like
any
they don't even
points.
know that that's an option. Like, I feel like the Bears look at the test and it says, would you like to A, run, B, run, C, both? I don't even think there's a D.
It's like that the
Or
meme
D
with
is all of the above.
it's like the meme with the two buttons. It's like established run, established run. Those are the only two options.
Oh my God. All right. Jeremy Lyles, Miles Sanders, or Garrett Wilson in a full PPR at the flex spot.
Miles Sanders has been really good so far this year. He's been very healthy. It's a good matchup for him. But I'm gonna chase the upside with Garrett Wilson here in full PPR.
Let's go. Me too. I'm going to say the same thing. Let's go after it. That boy says, please help. Half PPR, choose two. Cam Akers, Etienne, Breece Hall, Penny, Jamaal Williams. We can take Penny out of this equation. So we've narrowed that down. So Akers, Etienne, Hall, or Jamaal.
So I like Akers still. I think he's in a good matchup, and he got decent volume last week, so I feel pretty comfortable with him there. And then I think there's it's like a bunch of wild cards here where, Etienne, I'm not sure like what his volume is going to be against the Chargers. I mean, James Robinson is just being the RB1 there. It's really taking
he's
over.
RB1, and I think it's time everybody just start realizing he's an RB1 in fantasy again, whether they like it or not.
Yeah,
he
so
just is.
Etienne, I don't have a lot of faith. I mean, Breece Hall's usage has been kind of weird, even though every time he touches the ball, it's like he's super explosive. So I think I'd probably go with Hall over Etienne. Do you have any love for Jamaal Williams? And Williams has that goal line role, but like that's it. Like I'm not sure what else his appeal is. So I think I'm leaning towards Breece Hall here. What about you, Joe?
Me too. No, it's the same, man. It's the same for me. I see the dilemma. I see the issue. This
was a good one to talk through. So
this was good therapy. I hope this helped you, that boy. John Cunningham, Rashaad Bateman, or Kareem Hunt. Like, I know Bateman's made the most of opportunities, and here we go. It's the narrative of, well, he's just been super efficient. That's very dangerous. And that's what we said about AJ Brown for like 3 years, and all he did was produce. So I want to give the guy some credit. Like in the half PPR, I understand tonight rolling with Hunt. I think it's the safer play tonight, but I understand this dilemma. I would probably roll with Hunt because it's Thursday, and then that sets you up then for the rest of the week of, okay, what's the rest of my lineup like? What would you do here with Bateman or Hunt in the half PPR with Hunt playing this evening?
I think I'm going to go with Hunt here. I'm checking my rankings to see exactly where I have these guys ranked, and I'm pretty sure I have Hunt just much farther ahead. I've
got Hunt at RB 19 right now.
Yeah, I have him at RB 16, so I feel really good about Hunt. I mean, look, the thing with Hunt is his usage was exactly the same as it was last week, except Nick Chubb scored the 3 touchdowns and Kareem Hunt didn't. But he still finished as RB 27. Kareem Hunt is still like outproducing like half the running backs in the NFL that are starters because he gets the ball 15 times and he gets over 70 yards from scrimmage. Like that's like you're locking that in essentially by starting Hunt, and then it's okay, does he score? And he often does. So I'm going to go with Kareem Hunt here.
Yeah, I am too. Just take, just a little bit more potential volume where you give yourself a little bit extra
also,
opportunity
I think too
points.
with this, just like hit on as well. The fact that Lamar Jackson wasn't like the thing where he wasn't throwing. I thought that was kind of just like something to keep in the back of your mind. This is week 3. Like you usually don't see quarterbacks like not throwing in practice. It's not like he had a lot of passing attempts in week 2. So just something to monitor. And as a tiebreaker, I think Kareem Hunt's the guy.
Okay, William K. Worried about Williams with Herbert's injury? Should I start Christian Kirk in my wide receiver 2 spot instead? Look, if that's your pivot to Christian Kirk, if you're worried, I'm okay with that. Christian Kirk, we did this last night on the program, on the stages last night. Bogman and I were having a conversation. It was a big trade conversation, and Christian Kirk was a part of it. And all I kept saying was, hey, do you know the Christian? Don't even look. I don't know if you probably know this off the top of your head because you're a genius. Christian Kirk in half PPR is wide receiver what? On the
wide receiver,
take a guess.
10.
That's what Bogman said. No, he's wide receiver 7.
Even better.
7. I mean, look, Kirk is good. Like Kirk is. I understand this matchup against the Chargers. I know it could be slightly dicey, but if you're worried at all about the Herbert situation, and Williams can be hit and miss, if Keenan Allen is back this week, I haven't heard any Keenan Allen stuff today. yet. I don't know if you have, but I think you're perfectly fine just playing Kirk and taking your points. And if it doesn't work out, it's a good move. I think you're okay. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, Mike Williams, we know is going to be boom or bust, even if Herbert is the quarterback. So the
Mhm.
fact that he like boomed so much, last week, it's probably like very plausible that he has a down game here. If Herbert is banged up, whatever, yeah. I mean, Kirk is not going to bust. Like I
Mhm.
feel very confident with that. So even if maybe he doesn't hit the ceiling that Mike Williams might have, I mean, Kirk's ceiling has been pretty good so far. So
Yeah.
I
Wide
think
receiver
Kirk's the move here.
7.
Yeah, it's higher than Mike Williams.
7.
So let's go.
7. Paulino says pick 2, Mike Williams, Drake London, or Curtis Samuel. Williams and London for me. It's not disrespecting Curtis Samuel, but I don't put a guy I picked off the waiver wire in the same spot that I put in massive draft capital into those other two.
Yeah, I think Mike Williams and London are the play.
Justin Jeffords wants to know Najee, Pollard, or Jamaal Williams in the half PPR.
I mean, I'm still going to go with Najee.
The Pollard Najee Harris conversation is getting closer every week, though, for me.
Well,
Which,
I mean,
just saying.
are we starting Pollard over Zeke? Is that consensus now?
I don't know if it's consensus, but I don't care. The answer is yes. So
That's how I have
especially
it
in any
ranked.
PPR format. Brian Lamaster, flex spot here. AJ Dillon or Jeffrey Wilson Jr. in the full PPR.
I feel pretty good about Jeff Wilson. Just the fact that
Full PPR,
they're
though.
running out of guy. I mean,
It's not going to catch any balls. Just saying.
yeah, but he probably has a better chance of scoring. I mean, I like the matchup a little bit more with Dillon. Maybe I guess if you're right with full PPR, I guess I'd probably lean towards Dillon. I think Dillon's higher in my rankings anyway. So
Well, Dillon's higher in my rankings, I think, too. I imagine Dillon's higher in yours, too. There's no way you put Wilson over Dillon, right? I mean, they're close.
Yeah.
I've got Kareem Hunt, Dillon, and it's funny, Kareem Hunt is very close to Najee Harris, too, right now in my rankings.
Yeah, I got him back to back.
Me too, 17 and 18. So there you have it. So what a crazy time to be alive. Sun God, half PPR for the flex. AJ Dillon. Boy, a lot of AJ Dillon questions today. Jerry Jeudy, Garrett Wilson, or Brandon Ayuk. These are good options here. I mean, in the half PPR, you can go with AJ Dillon, take the touches. If you want to shoot for the moon with Garrett Wilson, that's fine. Ayuk is in this mix. Judy's in this mix. Judy's health is the only thing that gives me pause in this foursome here.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to I just don't think he's going to play. Like when the guys get listed day to day, it's usually not a strong indication that they're going to play or they're going to be 100%. So the fact that he plays on Sunday night, you're not going to know potentially. So if I don't know, I'm not going to risk it with him. I actually lost a matchup because I risked it with Gabriel Davis and that sucked. So I think Garrett Wilson has a great pivot here. That's who I would roll with.
Okay, let's go to the next one here. It's a quarterback question from Jake Sweat. Jimmy G or Russell Wilson this week?
I'm
Same game.
I'm gonna go with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, me too. I get it. The frustration's real with the Denver Broncos right now. And I keep going back to the same thing. I think Nathaniel Hackett so far has proven he is out of his depth as a head coach. He looks out of his depth. They are not prepared properly. And this is something we've seen. I mean, we saw it with Matt Nagy, right? We've seen it with other head coaches that were supposedly brilliant offensive minds that happen to be working with brilliant quarterbacks. And then all of a sudden they get out on their own. All of a sudden they're not so brilliant anymore. Just throwing that out there. Tiago Victor, PPR, Zeke or Rhamondre?
Rhamondre.
The Madge.
Not playing Zeke.
The Madge. Half PPR. Bateman or Hollywood for the flex?
Go Hollywood. I mean, the Rams give up a lot of completions, and even I know the Cardinals' offense has looked horrible, but I think Hollywood can get there.
You're awfully confident in that one, really. I'm going Bateman. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. Give me Bateman because I don't think the corners of the Pats are not what they used to be. Like, let's be honest. And Duggar's hurt too. There's an injury in that safety position too. That would be a huge loss if he's not able to go this week. DC says pick 3: Mooney, Lazard, Landry, Gage. Who's the odd man out?
I would probably say, okay, so the Mooney thing, like they're going to throw more than they did the last time they played. Like if you had to make a bet at 11 attempts,
Yes.
like you're going to take the over, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
what do you want to set that number at, big boy?
I mean, it's not going to be high. I mean, I think in week 1 they threw 17 times, so that's probably where
I said 16 and a half.
I mean, I would take the over. I mean, we see this all the time when they get when the media comes out and then the team will overstate what they weren't doing before. They're playing a bad defense this week. They haven't played a bad defense yet. The Packers and 49ers are the first 2 matchups for the Bears, so it makes sense they didn't want to go into like let's drop back 40 times. Okay, I think that they're going to throw more, and I think that Mooney's probably going to be fine. So out of these four, I'd probably sit Landry. I mean, Gage is going to get volume. Like he has to get some type of work in this game, unless Cole Beasley's going to be active, like for the Buccaneers. So I'll take out Landry.
Corbin Vaughn, PPR flex, Gabe Davis, Travis Etienne, or Pierce. He says, keep up the good works. Thanks, Corbin. We appreciate you, buddy. All right, so flex Gabe Davis, Etienne, or Pierce. I mean, Davis is hard to knock out of that spot for me as long as he's healthy.
Yeah, Gabe Davis. Hey, we're 1 for 1 and it starts with Gabe Davis. We're just going to keep it rolling.
Here's a question for you. If the Davis news gets really tricky over the weekend, what would be the pivot? Let's set up Corbin because he was mentioning he was nice to us. And by the way, be nice to us also. Like the stream while you're at it. Everyone can be nice. You could do nice things. You could type nice things. You could like the stream. These are nice ways to say thanks for all the work here at Fantasy Pros of not just us, but everybody behind the scenes, more importantly, who make this company go. Etienne or Pierce, if, let's say,
Pierce.
Gabe Davis, worst case scenario.
Pierce for me.
Okay, I would agree. King Michael Jacko, Tua, or Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going Tua. I mean, why are we playing Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know. Old habits die hard. I have a hard time making this switch. I do.
You got to stop. Aaron Rodgers without Devontae Adams is not Aaron Rodgers that we've come to know and love.
No, I know, and I'm the one who was saying it all the time, but I don't know if I'm ready to put Tua over him. I don't know.
The Buccaneers are not a game where...
So you have Tua ahead of him in your rankings this week?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't get there. I can't do it.
Why?
Lack of faith into I know it was so good last week.
What has Rodgers done this season that shows that he can even be started? He's QB 17 last week.
I understand. Look, the first game was a complete hot mess.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mention it.
Last week was really tough to gauge because they didn't have to do anything to beat the Bears. They just showed up to beat the Bears.
Okay, now they're playing the number 1 defense.
They are, but this is Aaron Rodgers, isn't it? Where these big important quarterbacks show up in these big important moments in these big games, and this Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, the last time these two will duel kind of stuff. You can roll your eyes all you want, but those guys, it matters to those guys. I think he shows up. By the way, it wasn't like Tua was the greatest quarterback ever week 1. Just want to say that. He was QB 22 week 1. He put up 15 lousy points. So not putting up 40 again against Buffalo. I don't know, man. I can't get there. Not against Buffalo. Can't do it. If he was playing Jacksonville or something, or not even Jacksonville, I don't want to. That's not even fair. It's not fair to Jacksonville because they're spunky. If he was playing just the Jets or the Falcons or some other team like that, I think that's where I would. Or Seattle, I would say Tua. I'm okay with that, but I just can't get there. All right, let's go to the fuzzy pickle, which never eat a fuzzy pickle. I can't. I don't think that's a good idea. The half PPR, Amari Cooper, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, or Allen Robinson in the flex. Where are you going for this one?
Half PPR, I'll go with Edwards-Helaire. I think he has probably the best touchdown equity out of those 3 guys.
Yeah, take the points and run. That's what I would do. Tennessee Jed wants to know, full PPR, Garrett Wilson or AJ Dillon in the flex?
I feel like we've gotten this question a lot. Garrett Wilson versus AJ
Every
Dillon.
Question is about Garrett Wilson and or AJ Dillon in the same question.
And I'm starting Garrett Wilson and basically 9 times out of 10. So
in the full PPR, I understand starting Wilson. I mean, he's getting 700 targets a game. It's hard not to like that. Matt, until it changes. And watch, it'll change this week. And then we're all looking at each other like, oh, look at that. Shouldn't have chased it. But I think you got to chase it for now. Matt Boone, Edmonds or Stevenson, RB2 in the half PPR. I'm going to test your Edmonds faith here for a moment.
Stevenson.
you so smug. Hey, Al Steezy, Dameon Harris or Elijah Moore in the PPR flex.
Man, I've been horrible at trying to read Dameon Harris in terms of like where to rank him because I like Rhamondre so much. So it's definitely like I have like Dameon Harris blinders that I'm just like I'm not gauging his like usage and role and how well he's been the last 2 weeks enough. But I do know that Elijah Moore hasn't been good. And he's not getting targets, and it's bad. So I'm going to go with Dameon.
I'm going to go with Dameon Harris, too. I'm going to take the touches. He touched the ball 17 times last week. That's enough for me. The Elijah Moore splash play might be there this week, but I don't know if I can count on it. I'm going to take the points. Take the points and get out. Sometimes it's just better to take the point. Lindquist Creative lost Trey Lance, and then there's an emoji of, I believe it's vomit, I believe. Could be crying, could be vomiting and crying. I'm not exactly sure. It's a weird looking one. Trevor Lawrence, Joe Flacco, or Jameis Winston. Where are you going to go?
Trevor Lawrence for me. He's been
really
good. First 2 weeks of the season, real good.
I love how nobody talked about Trevor Lawrence this offseason, I feel like, but us. And everyone was talking about Justin Fields and talking about Trey Lance. And all he kept talking was like, "Well, maybe Trevor Lawrence takes a step forward." Anybody ever think of that? The generational quarterback, number 1 overall guy that everybody was just fawning over. Maybe that guy gets better year over year. I don't know. Gabe Monday, need your help. Trade Aaron Jones for Devontae Adams. I'm okay with this.
I want Devontae Adams over
Aaron
Aaron Jones. Yeah.
Let's go. Adrian C. Yeah. Gabe Davis or Christian Kirk this week. Half PPR, 40-yard play for bonus. Like, I get the bonuses, but you can't play for bonuses. Those are too sporadic. I go with Christian Kirk. I take the points.
Agreed. Kirk.
Okay. Elite Progress, which is what we're all making here on the show. Should I play Devin Duvernay? Well, I don't know, in a vacuum, I don't think it's a good idea. If you're in a 14-team league and you have no choice, I get it, but I'm not trying to play Devin Duvernay.
I agree. I'm not trying to play him either.
Yeah. Kyle Owens has a flex question. Curtis Samuel or Cordero Patterson, full PPR. Now, it's a good matchup for Patterson in theory. I know last week was disappointing. First week was all world. Welcome to the Atlanta Falcons offense. But Samuel's been solid, man. I got to start Samuel, I think.
Samuel is second in touches at the wide receiver position behind Cooper Kupp. That's it.
That's absurd. It's absurd. It's crazy, man. James Little, full PPR, flex, Diontae Johnson, Curtis Samuel, AJ Dillon, or Brandon Ayuk. Got to pick one. And James says, thanks for the help. Thank you, James. Full PPR, DJ, Samuel. So you want to narrow it down to Samuel and Dillon in the full PPR?
Yeah, I think those are the two guys, and I think in full PPR, I think I'm gonna go with Samuel. Like, I feel comfortable that he's gonna get targets. Maybe it's not a ton of yards, but because it's full PPR, he's gonna deliver. So I like Samuel.
All right. Before we get to this next question here, and get a little breathing time, I want to remind everybody about My Playbook, where you can manage your fantasy football lineups and dominate your leagues with My Playbook over at fantasypros.com/myplaybook. My Playbook is a suite of powerful tools that help you make better decisions, manage your lineups better, win your leagues. Created by the amazing Fantasy Pros staff. It's the #1 sports advice and tools provider in the world, by the way. Just so happens this app will let you know how to import your team into custom fantasy football news, rankings, and analysis. It keeps you up to date with everything going on. It gives you good advice. I love it. I'm using it for every single one of my leagues, and I've got way too many. So sync your leagues today at fantasypros.com/myplaybook. Make your life easier. Download the app directly from the Apple or Android store. Again, that's My Playbook is what you're looking for, or go to fantasypros.com/myplaybook. Now, this next question, I understand where this question's coming from, but it's teetering on a bro question. But I'm not going to bro them. I'm going to have some discipline. Connor Miles wants to know, James Robinson or Ezekiel Elliott?
James Robinson.
Yes, it's James Robinson. It is not Ezekiel Elliott. Live in the now, okay? I understand. Old habits die hard. I get it. King Marquez wants to know, flex non-PPR, Cooks or Cooper? Cooks has been solid, right? I'm going Cooks here.
For me, yeah.
Talk about target volume. He's got 20 targets in 2 weeks? I mean, he can't score a touchdown to save his life, but I mean, it's the Texans, so what are you going to do? Karan Crooks, full PPR, T. Higgins or Christian Kirk? This Kirk for me.
Full PPR. Yeah, he's getting the targets. Kirk.
Come on. Brian Farmer says, sit 2. PPR, Michael Pittman, Diontae Johnson, Curtis Samuel, Courtland Sutton, Mike Williams. Wow, these are good problems to have, Brian. This is really, really good for you here.
Probably going to sit Diontae and Curtis Samuel.
I would tend to agree. You know what I would do with this group too? As soon as your bye weeks are kind of winding down, I would look to package 2 of these guys and move up to a Cup or a Jefferson or somebody like that, because you don't want to keep playing this game where you're picking the wrong guys, because these guys are in a conversation that we're having right now every week. Get that one elite guy that you can just leave alone, and then keep Williams or keep Pittman.
The guy to trade, I think, is Mike Williams.
100%.
He's the guy that has them. And you also want to think about, when people are always asking, who should I trade away? It's like, who can you get the most back for? Like, that's how you should be viewing it, because Curtis Samuel, because he was a waiver wire guy, you're never going to get a good return. Just keep him and just roll with him. Like, because no one's going to ever overpay for Curtis Samuel, because he was on the waiver wire, so he doesn't have the draft capital attached to him. Whereas Mike Williams, 3rd round pick. Like,
I bet you can turn around Mike Williams and Diontae Johnson for Devontae Adams or Stephon Diggs. You could make that move. Yeah. I don't know if you can get Jefferson or Kupp, maybe. Ja'Marr Chase is a fascinating buy low right now too. Things will get better for Cincinnati. Yeah. Butter Reasons, flex 2, half PPR. Cooks, London, Allen Robinson, Thielen, Jeffrey Wilson Jr.
Cooks London.
Cooks London for me too. 2 for 2. There you go, Butter. Max wants to know, trade Allen Robinson away to get Chris Olave in the PPR. You ready for that trade?
Yep. I'm trying to get away from Allen Robinson. Like the play.
Run away. Aaron Rodgers or Joe Flacco in the half point per completion.
Ooh, completion.
So,
I'll go with Rodgers.
I love when people
there.
have to. Why do people do this? Why do they make like? I understand like trying to improve the fantasy experience. I'm all for that. But why do people make these weird, quirky scoring things where it makes it so much more difficult?
I mean, the completion thing is so that real life quarterbacks get more credit than like fake, like real life bad quarterbacks. So in that case, it makes it easier for me because I know Rodgers is the real life better quarterback than Joe Flacco. So the fact that he gets credit for completions makes it actually a more. I feel better about starting Rodgers over Flacco.
Even though Flacco might, complete 40 passes because he attempts 87.
I mean, let's see.
Who's going to complete more passes?
Do they lose points for incompletions? Yeah, maybe. Let us know,
there's
Jason.
The rub. Solo Har, full point PPR. Full PPR, flex Devontae Smith or Sterling Shepard.
If I need like 5 points, then Shepard. If I want any sort of upside at all, I'm going with Devontae Smith.
I think you got to go with Smith anyway. We were just talking yesterday on the pod. Pat was pointing out, I thought very astutely so, that they used him in some clever ways in that game Monday night, where it was just the A.J. Brown smash show in week 1. But I think if they keep using Smith cleverly like this and getting him out there in space against linebackers, Smith is going to be useful. Like, I think he can get you 12 points. And Sterling Shepard getting you 12 points is, I think, a riskier ask, personally, right now, just from where the Giants' offense is. Giovanni Hernandez. By the way, I heard they're doing a whiteout game at Giants Stadium this week. Did you hear that? I guess
Against Dallas?
I guess everyone's wearing white.
Because Dallas plays bad when they wear blue. Isn't that the reason why they always wear blue?
I don't know. They're wearing white.
As long as Saquon scores like 2 touchdowns, then that's fine with me.
That's what I heard. Whatever. Giovanni Hernandez. Help, please. Amari or Hunt in the flex at half point PPR. Hunt, yeah. All right. Curtis says, hey guys, full PPR, start 2. Allen Robinson, Curtis Samuel, Jacoby Myers. Definitely Samuel.
Yeah, definitely Samuel. And I mean, full PPR, I mean, Jacoby Myers is going to get it done. Like, he gets targets and Allen Robinson doesn't. So there you go. They're playing the Ravens, man. Until the Ravens secondary stops somebody, then you should play their wide receivers against them. And we know Jacoby's going to get targets. So
I don't know. Robinson's on a much better offensive team. I know Jacoby Myers isn't scoring a touchdown. Robinson may. I would go at Robinson. Like, you found my threshold for Robinson. So we disagree there, but that's okay. That's healthy. It's healthy. Dominic says, help! ! Hollywood or Garrett Wilson, the full PPR.
Well, I know that you're more down on Hollywood than I am. So are you going to the rookie here?
I'm not that down yet.
Okay. Then yes, Hollywood for me.
When we're talking about Rashaad Bateman, then it's a different conversation. But I mean, Garrett Wilson's been fun, no doubt. But I don't know if I'm ready to start him over Hollywood yet. Yeah. I don't like Hollywood. That's Mitch Kraft, half PPR, pick 2, Stevenson, Etienne, Dotson, Elijah Moore.
I will go with, I like Stevenson here. And then, I mean, look, Dotson has really low target share, but he keeps catching touchdowns, and eventually it's going to sizzle out. But until it does, like, you should keep playing him. At least he's producing with his low target volume. Like, again, being efficient with the targets you get. Elijah Moore is not getting any targets, and he's not making the most out of them. So Dotson is. I'll go with Dotson and Stevenson.
I'll go with Dotson and probably Stevenson as well here. I will say this, though. Watching last week, there's a reason why he keeps getting touchdowns, because he is so quick off the line.
Exactly.
Guys can't keep up with him. His first step is so fast that he is open. Like, he takes that 2 steps, boom, he is open. And if Carson Wentz can continue to get rid of the football in an expeditious manner, Dotson's going to keep scoring touchdowns. I'm telling you, like that. Because the first week I didn't see too much of it, so I was like, "What's all that?" And the second week I saw it, and I went, "Oh, that's why." look how quick he is off that line. Anthony Rishia wants to know: Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore, Olave, or Pierce? Full PPR. Got to pick one. The DJ Moore love is fading fast. Olave, Pierce, Samuel, or Moore. You only pick one. Who's it going to be in the full PPR?
Supposed to go with DJ Moore here.
I'm going to go with Samuel. I'm tired of it. Show me, DJ Moore. Western Goods, Rams D, Giants D.
The Rams are, I mean, look, the Cardinals offense is literally a mess. all the time. So I'm
taking
going
the
Rams.
D here.
Yeah.
Corbett R. Rupert wants to know London, Sutton, or Mike Williams. I know we both love London, but enough over Sutton and Mike Williams? This is
No,
tough.
I'm starting Sutton.
I'd be starting all these guys. What the hell? This is like a 4-team league? What's going on here? I mean, all these guys should be in your lineup. So, I mean, I'd be starting
make
Mike
a
Williams.
trade. Make a trade. Like you gotta make moves.
If this is your, I can only assume this is a 2 wide receiver league or something like that. But look, you got to get the other guy in the flex here. I don't know who your other wide receiver is, but make a trade, do something. Vince, Diontae Johnson, or AJ Dillon in the flex full PPR.
AJ Dillon,
Connor Healy, Hunt, or Allen Robinson. I don't care what it's PPR,
Kareem
but
Hunt.
Sean Joseph Castro, trade Cooks for Gabriel Davis.
I think it's
I think so. I think you do. I think you put your faith in the Bills.
I think Davis has more long-term upside. I mean, Cooks, I don't think you're going to look back and be like, wow, Cooks was a league winner and I gave him up. Like, you're not going to look back on that and be like, all right, Cooks, solid asset, but he's always going to be held back by Davis Mills, who is not good. So Gabe Davis has this, again, probably a lower floor just because of how the Bills offense operates, and Diggs is there. But, dude, I mean, Gabe Davis could still score like 15 touchdowns. So, yeah, give me Gabe Davis.
All right. As we are hanging out here, I want to remind everybody to like the stream. And if you want to ask a question of your own, make sure you subscribe to Fantasy Pros because we like to give away free stuff here. So if you are a subscriber and you are dropping a question here, guess what? You get automatically entered to win a Derrick Henry autographed jersey. Tennessee Titans' own RB extraordinaire who's going to get 72 carries this week against the Raiders. Mark it down, 72. That's the number. Courtesy of our friends at pristineauction.com. Again, you got to be a subscriber. You got to ask a question. That's it. That's all you got to do. We keep it easy around these parts. And we'll be announcing the winner right here on the channel. So make sure you turn on the notifications. Click that little bell till it goes ding. And then you can be alerted every time a new episode is up here on our channel, or the live streams happen, or the little short videos with Andrew Erickson making the TikToks and the reels and all the fun things he does. And Tara does great work there. Everybody's doing great work here on the side here, even me once in a while. But again, click that little bell so you know if you won this Derrick Henry jersey. It's glorious. It's beautiful. So are your questions. So are all of you. Hope everyone's having a good day out there too. This is fun. It's fantasy football. I know. I'm looking outside. It's raining and a lot of people are having a tough day. This is a space for you to just talk football, hang out for a little bit, have some fun. That's what we're here for. Let's get to the next one here. It is Dion has a question here. Logan Thomas or Dawson Knox? I'm going to go with Logan Thomas here.
I'm going with Dawson Knox.
Really?
Who has better chance of catching a touchdown? That's what
I know.
I mean,
that's like the one ball I might throw to him.
It's
like
the thing, but it's the same thing. Like neither of them are their number 1, number 2, number 3 target in their offense. So
True.
I'm going to get the guy that has Josh Allen as quarterback and not Carson Wentz.
Oh, Carson Wentz does love a good tight end. I heard that. I read that in his yearbook. Let's go with another question here. What do we have? We've got Limited Effects. Limited Effects wants to know Jimmy G or Marcus Mariota this week. Now there's one to grow.
I like Mariota a lot.
I knew you were going to say it.
I'm going Marcus Mariota.
I can't disagree. This is the 1 week where I'm going to say nice things about Marcus Mariota. So make sure you get all the clips for the internet of me saying nice things. Yep. Dahomey, Carr or Tom Brady? Look, if you're down on Brady, there's no reason not to start Carr this week. Carr is a pivot.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco, I ain't there yet.
Yeah. No, I mean, Derek Carr has good weapons, good matchup, and he's been pretty good so far. So, yeah, Derek Carr.
The one and only says, please help. Mike Williams, Brandon Cooks, or Jacoby Myers, bench 1. Who is the odd man out? I mean, it's got to be Jacoby Myers.
Just because he gets target. I mean, his upside is capped. So, benching Myers.
Which one is not like the other? I mean, there is no upside to Jacoby Myers. Cooks, Mike Williams, those are 2 wide receiver 2s. Jacoby Myers is a
wide receiver 4
they're 3 at best with no upside. Eric Glessner, trade Derrick Henry and Elijah Moore for Miles Sanders and Keenan Allen. No.
Yeah, no,
Don't
you're not getting enough back.
Eric, look, come here. Come close to the screen. Eric, you looking? No, don't you do this. All right. Robert Lavelle in full PPR, Evan Ingram or Tyler Conklin.
I'll go with Evan Ingram here.
He's getting some looks.
This is the classic, like, he looks good and then he's going to give us a goose egg, like, type of Evan Ingram game. But hey,
it definitely feels like it could be.
New team, new opportunities. Let's give him a chance.
That's what everybody says about you. All right. Robert Lavelle in full PPR. Oh, we did that one. Sorry, Robert. Let's do it again. No, Jonathan Kagoo or Kaju? I don't know. Jonathan Gagoo. Should I play Pollard this week? Half PPR. Well, it's kind of
Yes.
a vacuum question, but yes.
Yes.
I mean, you're not playing him over Derrick Henry, but you're playing him over some of these other.
Playing him over Zeke.
Playing over Zeke. What now? I've got him at 28. Where do you have Pollard this week?
I think that he's in that similar range. I probably have to. I know that you're high on him. I know Debro is high on him, so I'm kind of waiting to hear Debro spiel about Tony Pollard a little bit more, so that I can just be more convinced to put him up here. I have him 31, and I am probably gonna end up moving him up.
Okay, fair enough. Let's continue on with your questions. Again, if you got questions, drop them in the chat. Subscribers only, though. Got to hang out with the cool kids. You got to subscribe. Make sure you like the stream, too. We appreciate it. Go ahead. It takes 2 seconds. Just go ahead. Click it. Like it. Thumbs up. There you go. All right, let's go. Another one here. Let's do this question here. This is a fun one from Eric G. Najee or David Montgomery in a standard league? And I know the Houston Texans are no good against the run. I don't know if I could do this yet. I think I got to play Najee still, don't you?
I hate David Montgomery, and I'm starting him over Najee. So that's where I am at.
Wow, I know it's wow.
Dude, did Najee look good last week?
No.
He looked
Does David Montgomery
man.
look good this year?
Dude,
No.
David Montgomery, we know he breaks tackles, and he looked good against the Packers. I'll give him
tackles
that.
and breaking hearts. That's
so I'm going Montgomery.
I'm going to go with Najee. I go down with the ship. I can't. I just can't do it.
Inspiring confidence from Joe Pisapia about Najee. Go down.
I don't. But like, I get the question.
Yeah.
I totally get the question. But so you have Montgomery higher than Najee in your rankings this week?
Yeah.
I can't get there. Can't do it. Not yet. Alex Brodsky.
Keyword, not yet.
Not yet. Keyword, you're right. Kenny Pickett's going to save the day tonight. Kenny Pickett's going to come in. So. You watch. Second half, Kenny Pickett. Lighten it up. Let's go, Kenny P. All right. The Pickett fences all over the place. Alex Brodsky, half PPR. Pittman, Higgins, or Sutton.
Man. I mean,
again, these are problems. Like, Alex, if this is a 2 wide receiver league, you need to deal. You got to package one of these guys with somebody else and go get an elite guy so you don't have these problems.
I'm just going with my rankings, and I have Sutton ranked highest, so that's what I'm going to pick.
All right. If Pittman plays, I have Pittman ranked higher in the rebound game, but I'm just a little concerned. The San Francisco D is very good, so that's my only concern there. Jay, start Kareem Hunt over James Conner.
Yeah. James Conner has got to prove to me that he's healthy. I'm not playing a guy with a bummed ankle.
Rambo Riggs, Goff or Fields? I think Goff has earned the respect.
Oh yeah,
right now. You gotta
Goff
play Goff
has got so many weapons, good matchup, and Fields is just he's just too risky because you don't know what the Bears are going to do. Like you could see him running, you could see him maybe throwing, but just take Goff. Like he's so much safer and it's a good matchup.
Jared Goff is another guy. Like if you want to have the conversation about Goff or Rodgers this week, I've got Rodgers at 10 and Goff at 11.
I'd start Goff over Rodgers.
I get it. Again, I just
got to pull the trigger, man. Move Rodgers down.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. All right. Here's another one here. This question's probably already answered, Josh. Take a punt on Julio or roll with DJ Moore. No, you roll with DJ Moore because Julio is rolling himself back onto the waiver wire pretty soon. Like
just DJ Moore.
Yeah, and this is what and I didn't want to be like the Debbie Downer. Like I didn't want to do this when Julio signed. I get it. Like I was like, okay.
We were hyped after week 1. We were like, here we go.
Week 1, it took me all the way to week 1 to say, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. He looked pretty good. Maybe I was wrong.
It's all those damn jet sweeps they were giving him.
Wasn't wrong. He's done. It's over. It sucks, but it's over. Cowboys 738, Freiermuth, Rashad Perryman, or Noah Brown.
Freiermuth. He's a 27% target share last 2 weeks. Like he's actually playing. I don't know if any of those guys will catch a pass. So
I love Freiermuth. I got all the Freiermuth shares I can handle. He's a good football player.
Yeah.
Lord Wellington. Lord Wellington has an issue he would like to address. Juju Smith-Schuster or James Robinson for the flex in the full PPR.
Gotta play J-Rob.
Yeah, come on, man. That's RB1 right there. Zane B, start George Pickens for funsies.
I can guarantee you it won't be fun if you start him, so don't play him. Like I'm just saying.
Well, I saw, I think it was Adam Rank I saw in the Twitterverse today talking about the greasy wheel. I was like, listen, man, I understand the greasy wheel narrative. Somebody's complaining that they're not getting looks, but like it's still Mitchell Trubisky. Like I don't care who's chirping. Like if you can't physically throw the football there, what are we gonna do? It's not. I agree with Andrew. No funsies there. All right, last one here. Sam West, trade Jones and Sutton for Javonte and Debo. I can only assume we mean Aaron Jones and Sutton for Javonte and Debo.
Well, I can't
like
advocate for
Javonte
trading.
Debo.
I can't advocate for trading Sutton, but you're getting a fair return with Debo, and I like Javonte more than Jones. So yeah, I think that I would make that move probably.
Make it. Do it. Do it. The other thing to do, like the stream. The other thing to do, subscribe to Fantasy Pros YouTube channel, growing every single day. That way you get entered to win the jersey. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat, where you can go premium and enjoy our touchdown contest, where we're going to give away a Stephon Diggs autographed jersey this month. And every week we have prizes, $25 in the FP store just for you. We're also going to do a grand prize winner at the end of the year. So many fun things, but it's over at fantasypros.com/chat. So join our Discord for free. Check it out. Then go premium at fantasypros.com/offers. And when you do, download the My Playbook app. My Playbook from Fantasy Pros, the #1 most powerful tool to help you win all your leagues, make better decisions, manage your lineups, win it all, baby. Download the app today on Apple or Android stores. And of course, don't forget, check it out at fantasypros.com/myplaybook. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For my boy, Andrew Erickson, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.